Goosebumps rose along her arms at the texture, and her eyes drifted shut. She found her mind wandering back to their first time, the nearly electric tingle when she first dipped into her creamy, buttery formula, the delight at that first swatch of smooth, brilliant pigments. Anastasia. She whispered the brand's name like a devotion. I've missed you. At work, I couldn't stop thinking about you. Oh, hi. Give me like 1 second to clean up a little and delete my entire browsing history. Hello and welcome back to Beauty Bee, this time for real. This particular video is inspired by quite a few videos that LS has done over the years. I will link her channel below and probably a couple of the videos if I can find the particular ones that really brought this idea up. She calls these makeup fanfiction, putting together palettes or collections that you wish existed. And today I've come up with some palettes for fall using different makeup generator tools. So now let's get into 4 palettes that I've made that I would love to use this fall. Let me make sure I'm scooched over far enough so that you'll actually be able to see them. And let's get into it. So this first palette I made on Lethal Cosmetics. Their system is so much fun if you haven't used it before. And with this, I decided to go with pretty classic fall colors. So reds, oranges, and yellows. And then I padded that out with a little bit of green and some purple. I really love purple for fall. I love this way that it takes on this very reddish berry tone quite often in fall releases. I don't think it's honestly the best for my skin tone, but it's so pretty. It's such a stunning color and love that. I love how it goes with gold, which is another one that I feel really comes up in fall, and coppers, though I've neglected to put a true copper in this palette. I've also added some neutrals into the mix. You can see that left column has a white with a little bit of a greenish yellow duochrome to it, a matte, cool toned, walks the line between being beige and gray transition shade, and a matte black. Now I really wanted to make sure that I had that matte black in here because I wanted to be able to do some really dark, smudgy eyeliner. I feel like fall is the perfect season for that. It's all very warm, very soft, almost blown out to some degree. I've done a kind of more smudgy take on winged liner today, actually using a gunmetal shade, and I love that look. I think that is something I really want to take into fall with me. And I love the idea of going into fall and wearing a sort of a warmer nude lip, a really lovely contrasting eye, maybe gold and purple, or sort of an orange and green, really, you know, a really strong fall set of colors, and then adding some sort of smoky winged liner on top of it. I think that sounds absolutely gorgeous, and it's almost enough to make me wish it was October right now. I moved 1,000 miles to not be cold. Okay, don't glamorize it getting a bit nippy out. From that Lethal Cosmetics, very basic standard fall palette, let's move in to one of the 2 Inglot palettes that I made. This, I think, is probably the most different of all of the palettes that I've put together for this video, in that it is very cool toned and sort of like dusty. I almost think that this would be a better fall into winter palette. And I know that this is not everyone's preferred color scheme, but I love cool tones. I love sort of dusty shades, and I think this would be stunning. I feel like a lot of people wear pretty warm shades during the fall, but I find myself more and more going directly from pretty much my summer wardrobe, which looks kind of like this, into my winter wardrobe, which has a lot of navy, a lot of gray, a lot of black, and quite often consists of me wearing basically this, but with a cardigan over it in one of those three colors. So for what I like to wear, this seems like a perfect color scheme. I love that we have two very shimmery, for me, lid options. A sort of ever so light gray, practically off-white, and a pink. The idea is then to build out these looks with these very dusty, sort of mauvey rose shades, and that purple, and a gray. I love gray eyeshadow. I actually am kind of surprised at how little of it ended up in all of these palettes. Actually, palette number 3, I think we can go by pretty quickly. I thought I was being really creative with this palette, and then I realized that what I had actually done was created a version of Subculture that instead of being like $20 at TJ Maxx is like $101, I think it came out to. So that was fun. The only thing that I think is more fun about this than Subculture is that if I managed to create like no wearable looks and actually hated it, I don't think anyone would tell me that I don't know how to do makeup. So I guess that's a plus. And now for the last palette. This one is a lot more green than the other ones have been. There are 3 shades that I would classify as greens in here, and they're all sort of olive, a little bit deeper than the green that I find myself reaching for in the spring and summer, which is almost like a Tinkerbell Pixie Hollow kind of green. So then I built the rest of the palette around those 3 shades, largely using pretty similar colors to what I'd used in the Lethal Cosmetics palette that we looked at first. So bronze and this reddish take on purple, and I wanted this to be very wearable. I wanted this to be something that I could slap on in the morning without really thinking about it. And for me, I know not for everyone, but for me, an important part of that is having quite a few neutrals. So I had the aforementioned copper, which I feel is kind of a neutral, and then 2 browns, a shimmery and a matte brown. And then because I'm me and I love pink, I added a pink because I can always find a use for that. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you made it past the intro, which I guess if you're here, you must have. Thank you so much to LS for coming up with this ideas. I really hope that you will check her out if you happen to have not ever visited her channel before. And I hope you will consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed this video. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye!